service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily is a service of CNC News. It's brought to you by the Greece Chamber of Commerce, providing more than 800 area companies with business solutions since 1984. I'm Bud Lowell. The full AccuWeather forecast is right across the top of this and every CNC local news page. Kodak and the Rochester Association for Performing Arts, known as RAPA, have reached agreement for RAPA to take over Kodak's Theater on the Ridge and the related facilities. The theater at Eastman Business Park will be turned into a community entertainment, conference, and education center. Kodak said it will be available to rent at prices designed to be attractive to local theater and arts organizations. Financial details of the arrangement haven't been released, but Kodak says it will be getting rental income from the performing arts group. The Kodak Theater has Rochester's biggest stage and multimedia projection capabilities, and it can seat nearly 2,000 people. RAPA will offer the Kodak Theater stage to national producers who want to bring their shows to Rochester. They'll also use it to mount their own shows and offer it as a conference center for large-scale business meetings. Rochester city officials and leaders of the city's Puerto Rican community say they will not let some disruptive people shut down the 45-year tradition of the Puerto Rican Festival in Rochester. Once again this year, as in recent years, crowds have gathered in northeast Rochester after the festival. They party on the streets and block traffic. And this year, festival organizers closed the downtown event earlier. Police said that helped them calm the streets sooner. But 28 people were arrested, most for disorderly conduct, and police had to fire pepper balls to break up rowdy crowds. Officers reported rocks and bottles thrown, but nobody was seriously hurt. They also say there were no incidents at the festival itself. Chief James Shepard said these sorts of things happen after the East End and other festivals. Police had 100 officers ready to quiet the disturbances. And Mayor Tom Richards told local media that these street revelers were not part of the official celebration and do not reflect on the festival organizers. The Obama administration is supporting the town of Greece in its legal fight over offering a prayer before town board meetings. The Democrat and Chronicle said it's learned that Justice Department lawyers have joined lawyers for the U.S. House and Senate in filing friend of the court briefs on behalf of the town with the U.S. Supreme Court. The High Court will hear arguments this fall on a lawsuit brought by two Greece residents who oppose the town's practice of inviting clergy members to pray before each meeting. They called the practice offensive and exclusionary since mainly Christian pastors were invited. A lower court ruled the town was violating the Constitution's First Amendment ban on an establishment of religion. In its brief, the Obama administration agrees with the town that allowing local clergy and citizens to offer prayers before a meeting is part of a long-standing American tradition, not an official endorsement of religion. The Rochester City School District will no longer send students home early on Wednesdays. Superintendent Bolgan Vargas said yesterday that for years, Rochester has been the only district in the area to send children home 45 minutes early on Wednesdays. Vargas said that is robbing children of more than 29 hours of instructional and support time every school year. He says it's equivalent to missing a week of class. Dr. Vargas sent out a statement saying this fall's schedule ends that practice. He says the district has to get out of the embarrassing position of offering the least classroom time of any school system in Monroe County when its students probably need the most. U.S. Senator Charles Schumer plans to call for abolition of a common type of railroad tank car. He says it is too prone to failure during derailments with possible tragic consequences. It's the type of car involved in the Lac-Mégantic disaster 2 months ago in Canada and in several U.S. accidents going back into the 1990s. Schumer held a news conference in Rochester Tuesday calling for a phase-out of the DOT 111 type tank car. These are commonly used to carry crude oil, ethanol, fuel, and some types of chemicals. They make up nearly 70% of the tank car fleet on U.S. railroads and 80% in Canada. Senator Schumer says 200 to 300 of them pass through Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse on the CSX Railroad every day. During a number of accident investigations, the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board has noted that these DOT 111 tank cars have a high incidence of tank failures in accidents. Critics say the fusion-welded tanks burst at the seams in a crash and spill their contents. In the Lac-Mégantic disaster, a one-way train of these cars loaded with crude oil crashed in the middle of the city. It burned half the downtown and killed at least 42 people. Schumer said these cars need to be retired or upgraded to more modern standards to avoid this potential danger. The state says a manufacturer of high-end archery equipment is building a new 70,000 square foot manufacturing plant and moving part of its operations from Kentucky to Henrietta. Governor Andrew Cuomo's office said the Outdoor Group, LLC, will keep 44 jobs in Rochester and add 35 more with this expansion. The company is getting $900,000 in tax credits from the state in return for a $5 million investment. Links to these and other stories can be found to the left of the player window. At the bottom of the page are links you can use to post news and information directly to us. Next News is as it happens, and you can help us be the judge of that by what you share. Updates are as necessary. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.